Not yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm? Are you? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, welcome back to another episode here of our Facebook Live All Access, where I take some time and update what's going on in Franciscan Barron Athletics, take some questions from those of you who are watching, and we do have some pre-submitted questions that we can work with as well today. So just a quick update on what's going on. Our women's lacrosse team's off to a great start, 4-1. They had two really exciting one-goal victories the last two games. Tomorrow they are planning on going to Worcester if we solve an officials problem, and that game will be at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Men's lacrosse also has 3 wins under their belt in the early going. They have a game at home tomorrow at 4 o'clock versus St. Vincent. We're hoping we can get some intermittent periods of dry here so we can get the field all ready to roll for that game tomorrow. Softball has unfortunately keeps getting hit by the weather here, but they got quite a few games in Myrtle Beach, and they're 6-4 right now. They are also in action tomorrow up at La Roche, and that's a doubleheader starting at 3 o'clock. Rugby just completed the Frassati Cup here, and then they'll be traveling for their Nescro Regional action in Indiana, in Elkhart, Indiana. That is this Sunday, April 8th, and their game starts at noon. So it'd be great if anybody can get over there to see the Barons play over there. They'll be playing Iowa Central. And then finally, our track team just competed at Bethany. We had Nick Long won the 3,000 meter steeplechase there. And we had, that was also a school record, by the way. And then we had Hunter McDonald set 3 school records, high jump, triple jump, and the 400 meter hurdles. So we had a nice showing over there. Our men and women both competed. They will next be in action at Mount Union this Saturday, so a chance to catch our track kids. So that's a little bit about what's going on. We'll also be talking a little bit later in this segment about our Barron Club and give you some details on that. It'd be great to see people out to catch the Barron Club event this April, and that will feature Jim Leland as our guest speaker. So let's go to some questions here, and just another announcement, sorry. Well, intramurals. So football and futsal are both starting soon. There's a football captains meeting, that's tonight at 9 p.m. And then a futsal captains meeting 10 p.m. tonight. So we need those people who are going to be participating in the intramurals to get out. You know, our intramurals really serve a lot of our students here. We have a lot of opportunities. We try to get them as much in prime time as we can. And so just from my perspective, we don't really treat intramurals as an afterthought. We try to give our intramural participants, of which we have many at Franciscan, good opportunities to get in the gym at, not something before midnight where they can play and enjoy the competition. We typically have levels in our intramurals as well, so we have a high level and a lower level for our beginners who just want to get out there and kind of enjoy the social part of it and just compete a little bit. So then we just got done with our basketball tournaments for intramurals, and so the football and futsal are coming up. And as I took the job last year and got onto campus right about this time, and I know that futsal is big, and everybody seems to really enjoy that. So captains, make sure you get to your meetings tonight. Okay, so we have some D3 week. It's D3 week going on right now, and that's just a way to do some celebration for our student athletes in Division III. NCAA has kind of a nationwide Division III week going on this particular week. So we have some events that are going on. I know our athletes are giving away some Gatorade tomorrow on campus, so look for that if you need to be hydrated. So that they'll be doing that. We also sold some T-shirts today, and over in the J.C. Williams Center. We have a rosary rally for anyone who would like to attend on Thursday, and then a scavenger hunt on Friday. So this is all planned by our SAC, our Student Athlete Advisory Committee, who has got their hands into SAC, and any proceeds we make during Division III week will be going to Special Olympics. So it's a good cause there, also good to get attention. You know, obviously the NCAA tournament, basketball tournament just concluded and gets a lot of attention, the March Madness. But of course, Division I basketball is kind of dealing with that shadow of the FBI investigations hanging over some recruiting practices that they have. And you know, that we just don't have that in Division III. The good thing about Division III, our kids are going to class. They're not here on scholarship. They're here as student athletes. They're doing as well in the classroom as our non-athletes. They don't miss game or class to attend practice, and they represent the student athlete the way that they should be. And that is somebody who's actually here to get a degree, but has a passion for the sport that they're playing and wants to devote the time to do that as well. Our question that has come in is the varsity awards ceremony. So that will be April 29th. And we have save the date cards are going out this week for that. And that's a great way for us at the end of the year, of course not at the end of everybody's year, but near the end of the year for everyone, where we can celebrate a lot of accomplishments. You know, we had an All-American this year. We had a team get to the conference finals. We had a conference champion. We have a team that'll be going to the NCAA national tournament and our women's tennis team. So we have a lot to celebrate both in team and individual accomplishments this year, and that award ceremony is a good way for all the athletes to get together and to recognize one another for the job that they do, and also thank our coaching staff and our workers behind the scenes who make the Division III experience what it is. And you know what we talked about Division I just a second ago. We're trying to make it a Division I type of experience here where athletes feel like we appreciate what they do and we honor what they do. But of course, we know that our student athletes put a lot of time and effort into all aspects of the collegiate experience. That's our chance to recognize them a little bit, thank our seniors for the job that they've done in their respective teams for their 4 years. And just really what we want to do is make loyal Barons when they graduate, and people who will stay in touch with our athletic family once they go on. So another question we have is speaking more on varsity athletic program expansion. So yeah, I can say that we have been pretty active from my chair anyway, in making proposals and doing our research that we need to do and trying to get that ready to go. And actually a proposal has been written up. And the only roadblock that we're facing really right now is nothing we could really control, and that is we hired a new COO of the university. Bill Gorman is his name, and he's just getting in place. And as COO, certainly within his province to think about a strategic plan for the university moving forward. So when you hear things like that, how that translates to the question that's before us, which is talking about expansion, is things kind of slow down a little bit. And you typically don't put new ideas ahead of the construct of the strategic plan. But what Bill has said, which is good, is he wants to get things moving and he doesn't want this to be a 5-year plan, for example. He wants this to move quickly. So I'm hoping that, I guess I'm always the optimist, I'm still hoping to try to ram this stuff in here before the end of the year so that we can spend next year getting ready for some sports. But right now we're kind of on hold to see where that strategic plan is going to go, and I think at worst we'll get some high consideration of both of these proposals, a men's sport and a women's sport, by next winter. Now it's probably premature for me to be talking about what particular sports those are, but we've done our research. We know that the facilities we have, we know where we can get the most bang for our buck. We've talked about what the startup costs would be. We've talked about staying in Title IX compliance. And so I can say that the proposals have been made, but that's what's, if anything's holding them up, that's what's holding it up right now. And we're hoping to try to get those accelerated as quickly as possible, and then be able to make an announcement that we are going forward with the addition of one men's and one women's sport. Question about alumni connection, loop our graduated student athletes into the current department and its needs. Well, yeah, we have a community relations office, we have an alumni office, and those folks are the ones that kind of provide the database of names. Things like our Barron Club are a way to do that, to tie in our student athletes who have graduated. But our office also needs to continue to reach out and maybe have specific events like alumni games where we continue to talk to our alumni. But more than anything else, what we're doing right now is an attempt to do that. You know, I can talk to a lot of students on our campus and I can inform them, and I hope that we have through surveys and kind of open door. I've invited all students via email and through a survey to come into the office and talk about whatever they want to, and I've had a great response to that. So this, while I'm sure we are connecting with some of our on-campus students right now, is really designed to go more out to our Barron family that's extended from here. And you know, we're just going to try to create more ideas like this where we can get out there and network with our alumni. When we have like Hank Kuzma Day here for our basketball games, that gives us a chance to meet with some of the alumni who come in for that particular game. So I think events like that, I think using our social media platforms is the way that we're going to do that. And frankly, we need to do that because I need to know who more of the alumni are. And obviously, we're going to want to keep in touch with our Barron athletes as they graduate and move on to, we hope, lives of significance. So we're working on that continually, and we hope that this is a good first step. This question is, as an incoming student athlete, what can I expect as a member of an athletic team and the time commitment? This, I think, is maybe misunderstood. I think sometimes people hear Division III and they think that it's a high school extension, and I'll tell you, Division III athletics is high quality. And I've said this before, we have our D3 teams that are playing Division I teams on a schedule during the year, and those aren't exhibitions, those count. It's a high level, and it's getting higher and higher all the time. The very good programs in whatever sport we're talking about are tremendous programs and could compete at least in Division II in the NCAA. So that doesn't happen without a pretty big time commitment. Let's just throw softball out there, for example. If you're going to be a softball player at Franciscan, one, you need to know that you're going to be in a non-traditional season in the fall. And so you really are going all year round. The question might stem from that, can I be a two-sport athlete in Division III? And the answer to that is yes, but you're going to be at it quite a bit of the year because of the non-traditional seasons. So back to our softball example. You're going to be working out for a few weeks during the fall with your teammates. You're going to be in normal practices. There's some intensity involved. There's drill work involved. Meanwhile, you could be working with a strength and conditioning coach to get a little bit bigger and stronger. You're attending class at the same time, and then of course in a sport like softball during the spring you're attending your games and practices, and you have a very full slate. And that really goes for all sports that are either spring or fall. They have a non-traditional season. If you're a track runner, you might be also running cross country, and so you have two actual live seasons that you're participating. And if you're a basketball player or a swimmer, you have a very long season that's expanding over two particular semesters. So what you can expect is that you'll be busy, but what we found, and this is another misnomer that I'd like to clear up and make sure that people understand, typically our student athletes do better in school the semester that they're in their regular season. That's because coaches are forcing them to make a schedule, that they have some time management that's involved in that, and because of that structure, they don't put things off. And we find that time and time again that most of our athletes, and when they come in and talk to me about the season, most of them echo that they do better in their classes when they're in season. That said, you definitely need to be able to manage your time. Your body is going to do some breaking down as you participate against bigger, faster, and stronger bodies who do things at a quicker level. And that's where you get our trainers as part of the process. And our two full-time trainers, Anita and Sarah, do a tremendous job here. The training room is always full. We're always taking care of people, but we're trying to get them state-of-the-art equipment so that they heal faster and get back on the field as quickly as they can safely do that. So that's what I would say about that. That's I think also if you take a recruiting visit, that's part of the question that you ask. You probably will meet with me at some point during that recruiting visit, but you talk to your coach and you say, hey, when's practice normally? How many hours? And then you might ask questions like, well, what if I have a lab, or what if I have to do this? And then coaches can answer that and how you manage to work that out as far as your time management's concerned. Is it possible to get access to the lap pool at Big Red as an FUS student? Yes, I think it is. I think they have an open swim over there, but I think honestly it's pretty early. You're going to have to forgive me on the not snapping this answer right out. When we were working with our swim team, I know they were practicing at 6 a.m. and I went over to some practices, and I had a discussion with the pool manager over there about open swim, and I did ask if Franciscan students can access it. She said yes, but on top of that, I do not know any other specific details, but if you want those, just give me an email. My email is easy to find. I'm under staff directory on the athletics website, and just send me an email, remind me you asked that question. That will give me a chance to look that up and make sure I get you the right information. Off the top of my head, not really positive, which proves that we're not pre-scripting these questions, because I don't know the answer to that for sure, but I know that there is a way. So give me a email on that. Mirrors in the wall of the weight room. Yes, our student government has purchased some mirrors for the weight room wall, and those are on the way. And Alexis Basil, my assistant athletic director, is the one who's spearheading all of that and doing all the details. So last I knew, they were supposedly supposed to be here any time now. And so I would think that we would see those before the end of the academic year here, and certainly then we'll be up as we go forward. So yes, mirrors on the way in the weight room. And we had quite a few people interested in asking about that, so this would be good for you. But thanks to student government for that. They funded it and purchased the mirrors, so they are on the way. The Barron Brigade, what is it and how can I join? So the Barron Brigade is a kind of our student fan group, Cameron Crazies. That's our response to that. So yeah, I think the SAC representatives would be a good place to go on that as far as talking about how you join. I know that we have those t-shirts that are on sale this week, and if you want to get into that and support that. So basically it's just a matter of you wanting to get involved, and then talking to SAC about how you do that and what exactly the Barron Brigade is doing. But it's essentially our indoor fan group, and we're hoping to make this get more of a home court advantage on things with that, and that's where our pep band has come into play for our indoor events, and the Barron Brigade is part of that as well. So t-shirts on sale this week in the today they were on sale over in J.C. Williams, so now it'd be a matter of contacting a SAC member to continue to pursue buying one of those. Can we get a nutrition program for the student athletes? If that means that are going to hire a nutritionist, the answer is probably no on that. We need probably a strength and conditioning coach first and foremost, and then a nutritionist would be a great thing to have. But right now I think we would have to make do with the positions that we have, and that would be our athletic trainers and also down in our wellness center. Taking advantage of people's expertise and knowledge about nutrition. Now, coaches should also be involved in promoting that and telling you the truth about carbohydrates and how important they are to athletes, and what a good carbohydrate is and what a bad carbohydrate is. Giving you the truth about fat, that you do need some fat in your system for your organs and your skin. But again, getting the right types of fat, like omega-3s and omega-6s are the way to go. So I think most of our coaches have a pretty good handle on that, and they do coach their student athletes on what to eat and when. But we do have resources outside of that. Not only our personal, not our personal trainers, but our athletic trainers, the wellness center, and if you couldn't figure it out, I at one point taught some nutrition and wellness, and so you could always ask the athletic director if you wanted some nutrition advice. But to be honest, I think that hiring a nutritionist, while I would love it, our resources just aren't allowing us to do something like that at this time. So we'd have to take advantage of the people that we have here. Are there plans to improve practice fields, specifically the practice soccer field? Yeah, the answer to that is yes. We're always trying to improve all of our facilities. Obviously, our pie in the sky is still trying to get a turf stadium purchased, and the plans for that are done. It's just now a matter of, again, going through a strategic plan on that and then getting a donor or more than one donor to fund that particular project, because that's not going to come from university funds at this stage of where we are in developing the campus. However, yes, my job, part of my job is to make sure that we have the best surface available for us. And so if you've been here for 4 years, or were here in the past and come here now, you can see that we've made improvements along the way. For example, last year we played in a pretty dead creases for our lacrosse field, so we had facilities resod those this year, and they look really good. And we're constantly talking to them about doing some fertilization and watering. We're doing the same thing for the soccer field. Softball field is looking really, really good. And so we've added new practice facilities over for rugby and one up at the top for lacrosse to keep our game fields as pristine as they can possibly be. All of that said, so you're going to get your practice fields beat up a little bit when you do that, but we can live with that as long as they're safe, because that just means our game services are that much better. So we're always trying to improve that. And as we go into partnerships on some things, we're hoping maybe even to turf a few more things. Even practice fields, but again, we might be a couple years down the road on that. I would say if you were a student athlete and ever saw anything that you thought looked sketchy or was a concern, that you let your coach or me know, and we will get on that right away, because we're not gonna put any of our athletes in jeopardy if we can help it on a field that's subpar. And so we're always trying to work on those. I even got a chance to shovel some snow the other day to try to get a lacrosse game ready. So we're out there pretty consistently taking a look at those facilities. All right, let's just give you a quick update on the Barron Club. Now we're coming to toward the end of our time. Barron Club dinner is April 21st, and the doors are going to open there at 6 o'clock. This is directly beneficial to the athletic department. When you buy your ticket or a sponsorship, you will be supporting the athletic department. I believe I am correct that it's $65 at the for a ticket. What you get out of that is obviously a meal. You get we're going to be honoring 4 local folks who have had something to do with athletics in the area as our honorees, and then we'll have Jim Leland as our guest speaker. So if you're a Pirates or a Tigers fan, which around this area we have plenty, then that would be worth the price right there. You can also do sponsorships. We have bronze, silver, and gold sponsorships for, I believe, $50, $100, and $250 for those particular sponsorships. Again, by giving sponsorships, you're putting money directly toward the student athletes here, toward our facilities, toward really anything we do to improve. For example, we used a lot of Barron Club money this year for the outdoor scorecard, the indoor score table, the Wi-Fi access so that we can live stream our games. So what I'm going to try to do with that money that we get from the Barron Club is impact a lot of our athletes, as many as I can, trying to get that spread all around so that the most people can benefit from that as possible. Excuse me. You register for Barron Club at franciscanathletics.com, and the dinner is in the field house here at Finnegan Fieldhouse, so that's where you'll come on April 21st to enjoy a really good night. I think I just sent a video last year because I was still in Maine, but all the things I hear, it's a first-class event, and I know there's a lot of planning because I've been at the meetings, a lot of the planning that's gone into that to make it top-notch. So I think you'll enjoy the experience if you come. So we thank you again for taking your time to view and listen to the questions. Our questions again were top rate and appreciate those. Sorry I didn't have an answer for every single one of them, but again, email me on the swim thing and we'll figure that out and I'll get back to you that day. And thanks to the gang here who got it set up and ready to roll, and appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you one more time here during the academic year, the first Tuesday in May, and we'll have our final all access for 2017-18. So thanks for tuning in.
Okay, you're good.